we're going to do something pretty interesting. We have a CD of the two gentlemen, TJ Frasco and Will Denton. Hello, you two.
Hi, how are you?
Hey.
You two have something really cool. And TJ, I met you through Johnny Holson.
Yep.
Because you two were doing some collaborating previously. And you have a sports radio show. So we're going to start the show by talking to you guys for a little bit, and then we're going to hear a segment of one of your shows. So it would be really cool for you to kind of tell folks about what you two have going on, how you two started collaborating together.
Well, yeah, Johnny and I started doing play-by-play for online broadcasting about 2 years ago. And I love it a lot. It's a great hobby, and I actually asked Will to join me one time, and he caught on real fast, and so we really enjoy just the task and the challenge of broadcasting and what that entails. It sounds easy at first, but it is really it is a task.
Yeah, I was really excited to come help with TJ. I really enjoy color commentating. That's what I started out with. It fit my personality really well. And I enjoyed the first time and just kept coming back, and we've done a couple games and a couple talk shows, and it's been really cool.
It seems like the type of situation where working as a team is really the way to go. I mean, that's pretty much the way they do it in the sports world.
Yep. Well, and the interesting thing is we started with play-by-play for Rockies games, Broncos games, but we've expanded to a sports talk show now, Sports Talk with Willie D and TJ, and it is a lot more fun when you get other people involved.
Yeah, I feel like it's really hard to do even those games by yourself. The talk show is definitely something that's really hard to do by yourself, but games too is really cool to do as a team. You have someone to refer to, and it's really fun.
So basically, so folks are wondering about like you doing a Broncos game, basically as opposed to actually being at the stadium, which would be awesome in the foreseeable future potentially,
it would.
or CSU games and so forth. That would be really cool to try to set something like that up. You basically have you're doing the audio for a broadcast that you're watching.
Yeah, I mean, crowd noise in the background, a little audio track. Basically, we turn on the TV, tell about what's happening, and it's all done from the basement in our little studio. So it's a cool setup for what it is.
Yeah, definitely. We can get a lot done down there, and definitely being at the stadium would be a cool,
That'd be cool
thing that we could do in the future. But right now, it works really well just to be down in the studio.
That would be really fun to try to set something up through CSU.
Absolutely.
We'll have to work on that.
Definitely.
Yep.
Well, cool. You guys brought along a little 5-minute segment of one of your shows. You want to set that up for us?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this is, what are we going to hear? We have the CD ready to go. I thought you could introduce it.
Yeah, this is just a 5-minute segment, a little cutout piece from one of our shows, Sports Talk with Willie D and TJ. Couple weeks ago, so it's not up to date sports-wise, but still fun.
Awesome. Well, Jill Cush is our tech, as always, here this evening. I want to thank her, and she's got that lined up. And we're going to hear this right now, Front Range Sports Radio with TJ Frasco and Will Denton.
Here we go.
Welcome back onto the show, Sports Talk with TJ and Willie D once again here on Front Range Sports Radio Network. We thank you for listening in. Willie D, what's going on, man?
Hey, I'm ready to talk about some polo here. I heard we got some eager listeners for some
that want to hear you talk about polo.
Oh yeah,
you got to be kidding me.
Oh wait,
funny.
no polo. Oh
no polo.
I didn't catch that one.
I hope you're not serious. I'm sure there's some people out there, oh man, I thought they were going to talk about polo. Oh well. Well, we have a couple topics. Obviously, the Rockies and the Broncos. Will, the Rockies have been winning on and off in August. They obviously had a good 4-game win streak. They also, in that 4-game win streak, they swept the Pittsburgh Pirates. The last time the Rockies swept a first-place team was in April, and that was the Atlanta Braves. The last time they won 4 straight was in May, and I believe that streak began on May 10th. But I'm here to tell you that it's fool's gold. I mean, it's too late to mean anything for the Rockies. I think the only thing they can really look for right now is that 500 record. but they'd still have to go like 25-17 in their final month and a half. So for me, it's the Rocky season, for all intents and purposes, is over. What can the Rockies do in the offseason to make this team better?
Well, I think that training their players in the offseason to have a positive attitude would be the most beneficial thing for the Rockies. I know I've seen some Rockies games where I just want to turn it off because it seems like the Rockies players just give up when they go into a deficit during the 5th or 6th inning in a game, and they
I agree.
I think that their coaches should do a better job of helping them to learn that having a positive attitude really can help the fans to stay and keep watching.
I agree, yeah.
And help their them to rack up some points at the end of a game.
And that's a good point you make, because there's a lot of young guys on this team now. You have Josh Rutledge, Charlie Blackmon, Culberson. Rosario's pretty young. Rutledge, did I already mention him? I'm thinking of the other second baseman, DJ LeMahieu. There's a lot of young guys, and they do need to learn that. And now we move on to the Von Miller situation. Obviously, it's been hanging over our heads for a long time. And I think Von Miller feels the worst about this situation, but he is currently in that 6-game suspension. Here's what John Fox had to say.
Well, I think, again, we follow the reports as well. There's always communication, amongst everybody in this building as well as the football team. And, it's official now, and we'll deal with it moving forward. We're going to support Von. Obviously, he's made some mistakes. He's willing to work to eliminate those mistakes as well as we are. I mentioned that he's, this is a family, whether it's the teammates or, the coaching staff, and, we're going to support him. So he's done a lot of good things. He's not a bad kid. He's played a lot of great football here in his 2 years. He's a tremendous player, and we'll miss him with those 6 games.
So there you go. I mean, that's John Fox's take. Obviously, many people feel differently about this situation. I've heard many people have come up to me and said, TJ, we need to let Von Miller go. He's only going to be more trouble. Is that the case? Is that the position we need to take as fans, as coaches?
I don't think so. I think that if the Broncos coaching staff would have known in the 2011 draft that he would have gotten in this trouble, they still would have picked him over all of their other choices: Aldon Smith, J.J. Watt, Patrick Peterson.
Right. And it's interesting that you say those names. If you could redo the 2011 draft today, would you have still taken Von Miller, or would you have taken one of those guys like Von Miller, or over Von Miller, like Aldon Smith, J.J. Watt, or Patrick Peterson?
As I said, I think that the Broncos coaching staff would definitely pick Von Miller. Me personally would also pick Von Miller.
Really?
I think he is such a crucial part of the Broncos defense that...
but even over guys like J.J. Watt? I mean, if you knew this 6-game suspension was going to hit eventually, would you still pick Von Miller?
I definitely would.
Really?
His sacking ratio... on average per game is around 2 to 4 sacks per game, which is amazing and is a great benefit towards the Broncos defense, and I would definitely pick him over J.J. Watt.
And I think you're right, because between losing Elvis Dumervil and Von Miller for, Elvis Dumervil now in Baltimore, I think you lose 2 to 3 sacks a game with those two not in the lineup, so that's a good point.
All right. Well, we want to thank TJ and Will once again for coming by. TJ Frasco and Will Denton, part of the Front Range Sports Radio Show, and they do have a Facebook page. You can like that on Facebook, Front Range Sports Radio.